Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Brunswick's Best, where Lance takes a look at the greatest players in Minnesota Vikings history. This week, spotlighting the number 21. So, why don't you lay that beautiful bean footage on us there, Lance, and show us what you got for a list.
Show me what you got. All right, so good week this week. A couple big names, couple of honorable mentions. So we'll kick it off right away with none other than Terry Allen. The Vikings selected Clemson running back Terry Allen in the 9th round of the 1990 NFL Draft, and he spent his rookie year on injured reserve after tearing an ACL. He was a backup to Herschel Walker in 1991, and upon gaining the starting job in 92, rushed for 1,201 yards and 13 touchdowns. In 1993, he missed the entire season after tearing his good ACL during training camp. He came back in 1994 and posted another 1,000-yard season, but with Robert Smith also in the fold, the team decided to let Allen walk away. He went on to have the two best seasons of his career with the Washington Redskins in 1995 and 1996 and stayed in the league until 2001. Making stops in New England, New Orleans, and Baltimore before hanging them up. Terry Allen, this week, you make the list. Coming up around the corner, we got Corey Chavis. Defensive back Corey Chavis was signed by the Vikings before the 2002 season after starting his career with the Arizona Cardinals. A cornerback during his time in Arizona, Chavis started at cornerback for one season in Minnesota before the team made the move to switch him to safety. Chavis was a big success at the safety spot immediately, as he intercepted 8 passes in 2003 and was voted to the Pro Bowl at the safety position. Known as one of the smartest players in the league, he now runs his own scouting website. Chavis was one of the leaders of the Minnesota Vikings defense until he departed the team following the 2005 season. He played for the St. Louis Rams for 3 years before announcing his retirement after the 2008 season. Corey Chavis, you made the list. Moving right along into my honorable mentions. Starting off with Rufus Bess. He spent the last 6 years of his 9-year career here in purple and gold. Was our primary return man for a few years, accumulating 432 yards on punt returns and 998 yards on kick returns. Bess also played in spot duty at cornerback while snagging 32 starts out of a possible 68 games. Bess caused 10 fumbles, recovering 7 of them to go along with 9 picks and getting 2.5 sacks. Bess, you get an honorable mention this week. Coming up to my last player this week, we have none other than somebody that's still playing in this league to this day, and that is Jerick McKinnon. And this dude has had a hell of a career so far in this league, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. He spent 4 seasons here in Minnesota, mostly in a backup spot duty role, accumulating 1,918 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns, along with 984 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns. Now, when McKinnon left here, we all know he went to San Francisco and ended up tearing his ACL while there and spent his season in San Fran on the IR, and then was moved over to Kansas City, where he was able to rejuvenate his career and still play in spot duty over there in KC. And for all of that, Jerick, you make the list as an honorable mention this week. And that concludes Brunswick's Best this week.
All right. Again, want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to also tune in Friday at 6 p.m. for our normal studio show, where we will be breaking down the preview of the game on Sunday versus the San Diego Chargers of Los Angeles. And Lance and I will have a whole bunch of good stuff there, so remember to stay tuned for that. With that, have a good rest of your week, and we will see you on Friday.
SKOL.
We'll stay in the hospital until tomorrow. But what looked horrible, at least, is good news. Back to the game. Favre throws in a double coverage, and ESPN's Corey Chavis makes the pick. 4 picks for Favre.
Can't communicate. Great job by the Vikings.
And the toss to McKinnon. Good blocking. McKinnon on his way. Amukamara couldn't get him. Fuller is too late. Touchdown, Minnesota.
That's great coaching by Pat Shurmur and the Vikings offensive staff.